Hello. Sorry if the camera's a little wonky on this one. I'm leaning against my truck and it's on the hood and it's not a very stable mount, so that's about the only thing I got that'll hold my phone, so I'll give it a shot. So I've been thinking and watch different videos on YouTube and all the different ways that people are living, and got to thinking that I'm not sure what exactly I'd consider myself. You got all the van life people build out their vans and live in a van, but most of them can't stand up, so that doesn't sound like too much fun. You got people that have nice expensive motorhomes, but that's $100,000, $200,000 for a mobile house, and then you're gonna be staying in campgrounds and all that, so that doesn't sound like much fun. Same with a lot of people that do the trailers like I've got. The groups I watch on Facebook, they're talking about which campgrounds allow them, this and that. I think I'm just totally different than most of those. I'm not doing this because I want to be able to get out and do stuff. I mean, I do, but I was kind of thrown into living this way to begin with, so it wasn't necessarily a choice to begin with. The trailer is a not relatively new, but I've been in the trailer for about 3.5 years now. But I've been doing this for the majority since 2014, I believe it is. Yeah, I think it was spring of 2014. I ended up having kind of emergency surgery. Put me out of work for about a month total. And then I could just never catch back up on bills and stuff. So within probably 4 months of that, I ended up losing my apartment and started living in the truck that I had bought, which was a 95 F-150 extra cab. I was living in that for close to a year, I think. And that was over the winter in Ohio, so that was a chilly thing to do. And then I'll see if I can throw a picture of that truck in there somewhere. And that truck broke down, so I had to go. I think I rented a car, kind of lived in that, got a motel room for a couple weeks until I got the old tax money back, put a down payment on a used truck. I lived in that for, I don't know how long it was, maybe a year or so. And in that time frame, I moved to Tennessee and had some issues finding work. Ended up, that truck got repoed. So we spent the night in the park. Got kicked out of that the next morning. But I met some people while I was down there, and that was in Pigeon Forge area. Met some people I was there that went above and beyond, and actually at that time I had my first 3 ducks, the white ones, but one of the guys took them into foster care for me, and their boss bought me a bus ticket out to California, so I went to live with family for a little while. And just being in a house full of people and just the way things were just wasn't wasn't where I wanted to be, so when I could afford to buy the truck I have now, I got that and headed back to Tennessee. While I was still in California, I ended up coming out and got my ducks, took them back to California, and then once I got this truck, we moved back here to Tennessee to the original spot, and I lived in this truck for about a year with the 3 ducks until I got enough money, mostly from taxes coming back, that I got my trailer, and that was about 3.5 years ago. So I fixed that up a little bit, and we started living in that. I don't ever show any pictures of the inside because it's not finished, not even close to it. Unlike a lot of the people that do the trailer stuff or van stuff or all of that, mine was being lived in basically from the day I got it as a blank canvas. So I work on things, as I'm staying in it, so nothing's finished, nothing's painted. It's just kind of a mess. There's tons of stuff I still want to do to it, but can't afford to do any of that. Now that goes to my second big point, is a lot of the people that do the travel stuff or the van life stuff or any of that sort of thing. I'm not saying all of them. Some of them, decided to sell their house or whatever and move into a van and do all that. So they had money to begin with to get something decent, fix it up, and then head out. Like I said, I'm doing it as I go, so when I can afford to do something, I do it. You got a lot of people doing the YouTube stuff that make money off of YouTube because they got a bunch of followers, and I don't have that. So what I do right now is just daily life. I have a part-time job that I go to. Don't make a whole lot, so that's why I'm kind of stuck in one spot for now. I work, and what I make just really doesn't even pay for fuel and food and all of the necessities. It's a struggle from paycheck to paycheck. Like right now, my truck needs a new battery. Can't afford to get that. Truck needs at least one fuel pump. Can't afford to get that. My shifter's acting weird that sometimes it doesn't want to go in the park. I need to get that fixed. Can't afford to do that. A bunch of stuff in the trailer on. I think at least one of my batteries is going bad, but can't worry about that right now. So what I do right now is basically just your daily life. It's not some glamorous van life thing or traveling on the road seeing someplace different every day. Me, I'm just average person. So I don't know if that qualifies as being homeless, since I don't actually have a house, but I have my trailer, but it moves all the time. Or you could be houseless, like I've heard some people say that they're just staying in their vehicle kind of thing. I don't know if that qualifies. I don't know if it qualifies as being nomad if you're stuck in the same place, not going anywhere. So I just really technically don't know what to call myself. Just an average person trying to live their life, I guess. I mean, I'd like to get back to doing some traveling and try and see if we can see some new places and do something interesting and maybe get some followers and start making money doing this, but that's few and far between kind of thing. What I've noticed with YouTube stuff is I think luck is a big majority of it. Yes, there's a lot of people out there that do cool stuff and get recognized for it and keep going, but I think a lot of it just takes that one video that gets pushed just right or seen by the right people and gets you going on a good start. So in a nutshell, I didn't really choose this life to begin with. It was kind of thrown at me. But now I'm to the point that I more or less choose to live this way. Not that there's much of another choice, because I can't work full time, so trying to work enough to afford a place is kind of out of the question. And then you add in the ducks with that, which I won't get rid of, so that's another hurdle to try to overcome. So this really is kind of the only choice, and I'm at the point now where no place really feels like home. I keep coming back to the same spot in Tennessee, but within a week of being here, it was kind of like, this just doesn't feel right, and maybe eventually I can find a place that feels right and maybe settle down a little bit, but till then I'm just kind of floating around. Maybe eventually I'll get something figured out that I can make some money to where we can move around and maybe find some place that feels like home. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't found it yet. Just kind of been to some nice places, but no place that just gives you that good feeling of this is where I should be. Yeah, anyway, I guess that's enough rambling for today. Just something I've been thinking about and just trying to figure out where I fit in with things. I'm sure there's other people out there in the same situation, but I haven't seen too many people and doing the same kind of thing. Most people I see doing stuff like this, it was all planned. They made a conscious decision to, I'm gonna start living like that and go for it, and they decide they don't like it, they can turn around and go back to what they were doing. I really just don't have that option. I'm kind of stuck in this situation, this cycle, and just trying to make the best of it. Try and leave you with a little video of the ducks taking a bath. They're all done with now, but I filmed a little bit of them before this, so put a little bit of that in there for you. Thanks. Bye, y'all. How many think you can fit in there? Howard's over there looking rough. He hasn't had a good bath in a while. But with him not doing so well these days, doesn't have too many feathers on his bottom. So if I throw him in the water, he gets all wet and he gets chilled pretty easy and starts shivering. So unless it's warm, he doesn't really get a bath. He looks like it. He's getting kind of dirty. Girls don't mind. They'll take a bath whenever.